Hey, I know the big question in everybody's mind is when I come in here and I'm trying to get a hero, what hero should I get? Well, the question is, it does not freaking matter. It doesn't. It really doesn't. Um, Now you want to get Wonder Woman, or you can get Superman, right? I would not get Flash. So I see, yes, I got Flash. Those are the three that you can pick right out the gate, right? Who should I pick? Of those three, it matters. Don't get Flash. Probably get Wonder Woman. She's got best crit. She's thought of generally as the best, one of the best in the game. It's arguable, but Superman does hold his own too. You can get Superman. Um, yeah, but do not get Flash. I think Flash is good once he's like max. But he's like just pull for him. That being said, though, it doesn't really matter who you get. What matters is the synergy that you go for. For instance, Dr. Fate here works off of enemies having lower health. For each ally with a portion of HP lower than 60, his attack is increased. Or it gives them shields, things like that. So then you want to be pairing him with characters that have the sacrifice tag. So someone like Constantine, who's going to be taking out HP away from allies, um, or Pandora, who's taking her own life away, etc. Right? These ones that you can guarantee are going to be low on health. Or Hal Jordan over here works off of shields. So then you want to be guaranteeing he gives himself a shield, but if you pair him with somebody like Lex Luthor, who who has an ult that will give everybody shields, then you can ensure that Hal has more shields and the ult is powered up more. So the archives is a really good way to read up on all the heroes. They do have where they'll give you backstories, bios, and all of that. But the main thing is that you get to come in and see what these heroes do and how their synergies will, play into one another. Now, you're not going to be able to see actual team synergies. You can see, the Green Lanterns to Justice Leagues, things like that he's a superhero, but you're not seeing actual like in-game team synergies. That's fine. You can at least see what their abilities do, and that's the main important part. I will say that again, as I mentioned in my last video, you want to have at least two solid tanks, and then you're going to want to have somebody who does insane damage on your team, and then somebody who can like keep everybody in the fight. So Lex has his shields. Kid Flash is really good for healing. You've got just things like that. The Bride can bring herself back to life, etc., etc. Right? Nightwing is good because he's got block and stun when he blocks. And so, very good for just keeping himself in the fight. Um, Now, there are teams that might specialize on debuffing the opponent. So maybe you want to do burn, and if you start to do burn, then you look at what all characters can do burn, or poison, or bleed, or whatever, and who can utilize that. Characters like Sinestro work off of stacks of debuffs and whatnot. And then you start to put these teams together. You get maybe you want to focus on a team with Bloodsport and blocking, and then okay, so how do I increase that blocking, etc., etc. All the Green Lanterns, they worry about shields and whatnot. So you can have a shield focused team. Again, Lex Luthor's really good for that. Bloodsport is also good. He adds shields. Um, then you have your teams focused on different game modes. So going through the main story, you're just basically going to want to focus on, again, a couple tanks, some DPS and a support. Going into something like Evil Falls, where it's a boss mode, you're going to have team things that you can do up here, right? And it tells you how to really get past that specific boss. But for taking out the boss themselves, you're going to want to have just somebody solid, like a Batman or somebody who can do solid one character, just smackdown damage, right? For something like World, where you've got Arena, you're going to want to have your best team. So this is your team that you've got the highest rank, the highest gear on for the Arena, and then you're going to want to have 3 of those teams for the Elite Arena. So you want to have, because you want to at least win 2 of those 3 matches. For Convergence, you want to make sure that you have a variety of characters that you're leveling up so that you can constantly be going through and getting the rewards from Convergence every day, because you can't use the same heroes in all the different cities here, right? Early on in the game, it doesn't matter who you're getting, you just want to be getting a lot of characters, because things like the Digital Universe is another kind of roguelike style game mode where when a character dies, they can't come back. So then you have to have somebody able to replace them. So you want to make sure you have enough tanks, enough supports, DPS, etc. for the long game there. And that's basically it. Once you find somebody who you do want to go for, there's the desired over here. So you just come and you can take off somebody and put on somebody else once you've got them. Right. I can't change her out. But because I haven't, it's a whole thing. And if I'm honest, I don't understand it. So, anyways, but what I do understand is every day you can refresh who your 2 are. And so you have a better chance. It's basically like a rate up that you can impose yourself on a couple of heroes to better ensure that you've gotten those heroes. And yes, confirm. Then you can just decide which banner you want to be pulling in, right? Do you want to pull in the regular banner, the regular legendary banner, or maybe one of the featured banners? So everybody's going to have their opinions on who is the best. Obviously, like I said, Wonder Woman's talked about as being one of the heroes you want to get when you get the choice of the 3 in the beginning. But just so long as you don't make the mistake I did and get Flash. So I'd love to hear who you want to get, who best speaks to you, who you're looking forward to leveling up and stuff like that. Character guides is the next thing I'm going to be working on. So yeah, subscribe, leave a like, and I'll see you in the next video.